How's it going, everybody? First off, I hope you're having a great day today. My name is John, and today we're going to talk about the second round draft pick. Let's go. So as a lot of you know, Manu Ginobili announced his retirement this week, and considering he's one of the probably most infamous second round picks to ever pan out in the history of the NBA, it kind of got me thinking about where the second round pick has gone throughout history. Like, it started off being a bunch of nobodies, and now today it's at a stage way past that where we aren't as surprised when guys in the second round pan out. Let me explain a little bit. The NBA is a stars league. Teams need stars to compete, especially in today's NBA, but throughout history as well. Where are you going to find these stars? Primarily the draft. Usually in the top 5 to 10 picks are where the stars are found. Some are sprinkled around in the remaining 20 picks in the first round, but it is always a big deal when one of these 20 picks ends up outperforming the other selected picks before them. Usually the second round of the NBA draft is full of, quote, potential guys. Lengthy defenders, athletic bigs, pure shooters, undersized floor generals, low post scorers, etc. Nowadays, the second round still contains mainly project players or draft and stash players from overseas. This is not the case with every second round pick by any means. In fact, there's an argument that nowadays going into the second round or even draft position as a whole hold little relevance. Really, the only difference is if your contract is guaranteed or not and how much you get paid. So like I said, I want to talk about how the second round pick has gone from being a bunch of people who aren't really going to make a big difference on your team to now we have a history of Hall of Famers, great impact players, superstars in the league, and even very influential role players on teams coming from second round draft picks. I'm going to give you all a brief little history throughout the past 50 or so years in the NBA, and let's look at who all has been in the second round and has panned out to be really, really great NBA players. So it wasn't until the 1970s that we saw multiple second round stars such as Gus Williams, George McGinnis, World B. Free, Spencer Haywood, Calvin Murphy, Mo Cheeks, Dennis Johnson, Nate Archibald, and Alex English. In the 80s, we didn't see as many really great second round picks. We only really had Danny Ainge, Jeff Hornacek, Mark Price, and Dennis Rodman. But in the 1990s, we had Tony Kukoc, Steven Jackson, Rashad Lewis, Manu Ginobili, the guy the video is influenced by. In the early 2000s, we had Paul Millsap, Anderson Varejao, Monte Ellis, Michael Redd, Marc Gasol, Carlos Boozer, Gilbert Arenas, DeAndre Jordan, Kyle Korver, Goran Dragic, and Danny Green as well. Of course, in the 2010s, so far, we've had Hassan Whiteside, Isaiah Thomas. A quick break to point out that I haven't seen anyone else point this out, but in the same draft, Kyrie Irving was the first pick. Isaiah Thomas was the 60th pick, and they got traded for each other. I just think that's a really cool factoid for the NBA, and I don't think it's ever happened before. But I don't know if I'm probably not the only one who's noticed this, but I haven't heard anyone point it out. I just think it's kind of cool. It's for y'all guys. We'll get back to the video.
Nikola Jokic,
Draymond Green, Jordan Clarkson, Chris Middleton, Jordan Bell, and also Chandler Parsons. So now the real question is, in today's NBA, does draft position matter? And the answer is yes, but no. The reason why I say no is because in today's NBA, we saw it especially with the most recent draft, is that we very little talked about where guys were getting drafted, unless we're talking about Michael Porter Jr., but more where in terms of location they're getting drafted instead of where in draft position they're getting drafted, if that makes sense. You look at Marvin Bagley III and how he's the second overall pick, but a lot of people expect him to not do very well or even be a bust simply based on the fact that he's going to a team, an organization that's not very organized or shown a history of being good at developing young talent. Or with Jaren Jackson Jr., where he's drafted to Memphis and everyone's like, this is amazing. He's a stretch big. He's tough. He'll be great for them in Memphis. And he was the 4th overall pick, but no one really talks about how he compares to the 3 guys before him. Mostly they're all talking about, oh, it's a great system for him to be in, since Memphis usually plays through the post more than other teams like the Warriors or the Rockets would. But I would also still say yes, because every single year we still discount a lot of second round picks as just being oh, they're just picking this guy because they have the pick, they couldn't trade it, draft and stash, whatever have you, right? Or, oh, he's a potential guy, that too, right? I've already talked about that in the past. But we still discount them, and maybe that's just human nature since they're not being picked first, right? If you're the last guy getting picked for a pickup game, everyone thinks you're trash. Easy. But I think it's really important to note that since we've had so many previous second-round picks actually pan out, and some even become Hall of Famers, you still have this idea of like, but what if instead of being trash, they do what that guy did? And that is a big thing that I'm starting to notice now, is that people keep asking that question, like, what if he pans out? It's not unheard of. It's not 100% unlikely that it happens. And overall, it's just a more realistic and possible and asked question of what if they do pan out. And I think that's because of the history of the second round pick having produced solid prospects. Yes, I'm sure the percentage of panned out prospect to not panned out prospect is a low percentage. But with the guys that have panned out, they've had a great career. They've had great careers in the NBA. And we saw with Jordan Bell, the most recent case is Jordan Bell. When he got drafted and got traded to the Golden State Warriors, everyone went crazy over how the Bulls traded him because they were like, this guy is going to pan out. And the Bulls are stupid for trading him. Anyway, what do you guys think? Leave in the comment section down below. That's all I've got for you guys today. Make sure you leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see y'all next time.